Good morning, everyone. Yeah, Robert, I'm afraid to ask, what have they done today? Robert posted governments, yes, all of them in Canada, have gone full ludicrous speed. One should never go full ludicrous speed. No point in going full stupid. Trevor, appreciate that super sticker. It is exceptionally kind. Hello, James. Hello, Jack. Hello, Red Canary. Auntie Ann. Hello, Jason. Shelley. Mods. Hello, Coco, Patriot Snow Wolf, Northern Lights. Yeah. Visible over much of the US. There's a map in here somewhere. Northern Lights viewing potential. There's what they call a cannibal CME, or actually, wait, corona mass ejection. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Three of them, and they are merging into one. So this will be the biggest solar event in about 20 years or so. So even down here into the northern parts of South Carolina, you may see northern lights this evening. Some of you saw them overnight last night. If you're flying over like north, like we're talking like New York, up that direction, whatever, flying to Europe, they said you guys could get about 20% more radiation than normal. It's not a huge amount, not something you need to panic over. Hello, Rick. Hello, Mel of Hess. Gary 7. Miss Laney. Hello, Malion, Terberg, Jules Bells. Give us thoughts on the 50-year mortgage again. We've talked about that one some. We will talk about it because there is something I do need to chat on. Dana Wolf. He's hearing it on rumors as well. There's a lot of rumors running around Iraq right now as to what to expect in rate. We talked about it last night. If you're worried about anything he has said, go back, watch last night's news section. It'll answer your questions in the first 10, 15 minutes. Let's see. CW, hi, Mark. No more IRS, no more Federal Reserve revaluing our currency. $2,000 dividend checks, 50-year mortgage IDs for voting. Yeah, a lot of it is screaming Nasera. The 50-year mortgage, though, boy, the thought of needing that one. No, we got to change the system before we need a 50-year mortgage. That's unacceptable in my book. But we're going to talk about those things. Worry not. Tree Bearder, you guys can do one. I won't be there. I will be busy. We'll definitely probably get time to do one over the weekend. Have a little weekend fun over at VOF. Hello, JC Diamonds and Tinker Bell. Ooh, I need to get a little focused in a recent clinical trial this year. Women who took 2.5 grams of collagen peptides daily for 8 weeks saw an average of 25% reduction in eye wrinkle depth, a 9% improvement in skin elasticity, a 29% book in skin hydration, proving collagen can visibly strengthen and rejuvenate skin from within. That's why I use today's sponsor, BioTrust Ageless Multi Collagen, and I'm obsessed with the results it's giving my skin. BioTrust Ageless Multi Collagen helps supercharge my skin health using 5 premium types of collagen needed to help reduce wrinkles, notice smoother skin, more elasticity, more hydration, fewer fine lines, and a youthful glow. I don't know how glowing I am, but kind of glowing, rather glow gold. Plus, it also helps improve joint health, bone strength, connective tissue on top of my skin health. For limited time, you can grab a bag of BioTrust Ageless Multi Collagen for up to 51. Actually, I think you can get 53 now. Only at healthwithmarkz.com. Plus, you'll also receive free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, a free ebook entitled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, and free express shipping with your order. Once again, you can find them at healthwithmarkz.com to get this deal now. Let's see. Sarah said a great high school friend in Wyoming, small town, posted a beautiful northern light sky from last night this morning. Looks like a beautiful pink down. Oh, that would be awesome to see. Yeah, Navy D, I'm with you. The 50-year mortgage, the gift that just keeps giving or taking. You will own nothing and you will like it. The thought of needing a 50-year mortgage for a house, something is broken. We live in a world, in a universe. God created a world of abundance. Yeah, even if our lifespan is going to increase greatly, that is still absolutely crazy in my mind. And we're smart enough to figure it out. Don Nader said the revaluation of NAR should come around the 8th. There are so many rumors running around Iraq. Don, watch last night's video. Anybody else, guys, pile on them when they have questions about Nader's video. Watch last night's video that we did. They can answer 99.999% of their questions. Yeah, Jason, there's a chance I'll get a break this week. Very good chance I could get a break. Paul says 50-year mortgage, make payments every 2 weeks, done in 25 years or less. I got a better idea. 30-year mortgage, do the same, and you're done in what, 12 years, something like that? Forget what that number is. Anybody know? Mm-hmm. 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 Let's see. Rick saying Billy Nader has not walked back from his article today, but he did say it will take a week or so for us to exchange. Just stay calm. We are hearing tons of rumors. We talked about it last night, shared some articles about it. Watch it. If you have any worries or concerns, take the time. Frank reporting that they have something about a rate, something like that. Let's see. What did Miss Austin say? Frank is reporting that they have a date and a rate, and he's hearing higher than 424. I'm hearing somewhere between the very high 3s and the high 4s. I like JMR. After the RV, I'll have a 2-minute mortgage. Definitely be the brat. Okay, I'll be the brat. How about an RV and pay cash, no mortgages? That's the best for us. A lot of folks, though, they are not prepared for this. Remember this, just because you guys are prepared, 99% of the world is not prepared for this. So while you're like, well, this doesn't make any sense, we're expecting this, expecting that. No, we are expecting those things. The average person out there is not prepared for this. Are they going to do well over time? Yes. Could there be some hiccups in the short term? Very much so. MAGA Pilot Russ. So you have a bot now moderating chats. Yes, and it's pissed off a few, and a few of the older mods are pissy about it with their panties in a wad, but it's for a purpose, MAGA Pilot Russ. It is set up so we could literally, if there is an NDA, it is learning right now. It is set up so if there is an NDA, we can plug the NDA in, and it will remove anything that could get you guys or me in trouble and get your money taken back. So I believe we're that close. I wish they would embrace it. Most have. Most see it. It is not personal at all. It is 100% not personal. It doesn't care what your personality is. It doesn't care who you are. It just cares when you step outside of its parameters. It's so simple as to why we have it. It is to protect you and me and us. Can't figure out why anybody's upset about it. John, you'll have to go watch Nader to find out. Nader from the Middle East. Or just go watch last night's video, and then you don't need to go watch Nader. Nightbot, Star Lady, you don't have it. It's training at YouTube. You will get it, though. You will get it because it is learning so that it can prepare and save us for an NDA. And then we can get rid of it after. Once we get through any kind, if there is one, if there's not one, we can turn it off. Billy, we don't know for certain. I suspect some of them have, and those that leak do not have money yet. Every time my son sees a Loomis truck, he yells RV. I love that one. Okay. I know we need to get to it. Jacob, does the Puerto Rico loophole work for interest earned on all the money we're about to receive? I'm not certain I understand what you mean by that one. Like there are different tax laws as opposed to US tax laws. There's a reason the IRS is headquartered in Puerto Rico to reduce the amount of tax they have to pay. You still have to pay tax in Puerto Rico. Yes, SSGNAC. Mark, okay, I've seen it worded as $1 to 325. I've even seen it $1 to $325. $1. Yeah, same thing. It's not confusing. It's just how some people use a sentence and they change the structure. You understand they're saying the same thing. Ooh, I'd love a vintage Airstream. That would be cool. Does Airstream make new ones? Is that still a thing? Champagne Princess, all I can say is get over it because it is there to protect you. Just look how you type it. It has parameters, very, very set parameters. It is there to protect you from yourselves and from anybody that might want to claw back your dollars. Woodsy, there's a lot of confusion on this one. If we're to be paid in quantum account that nobody but us can touch, how can anyone claw it back? Woodsy, they can still touch it if you mess up legally. It does not protect us from being idiots with their money. It protects us from the government just willy-nilly clawing it back. But if you have signed an NDA to get something, you are still have to adhere to those rules. A lot of people seem to be confused on that one. I think I need to have Bob Locke on to explain that one to you. Yeah, most of you folks are going to need a personal bot on your mouths if you can somehow put it in to save yourselves if there's an NDA. I don't think there's going to be one, but we have to be prepared. Larry, Mark, I love your show, but I still can't find a place for Danny Bernard when it's time because Danny or Larry, excuse me, you're wasting your time looking now. Boy, I tell you, that's one we've talked about ad nauseum. Wait until it goes. Make certain you've signed up at DinarRecaps.com for their email newsletter, other news aggregating sites if you want them. They will tell you, they will share the numbers, etc. I've had two different banks link out, one of them on their company letterhead, and let me know that that is their plan, is to send it to them and other news aggregating sites that'll have, whether it's a secure link, whether it's an 800 number, whatever that is, they are going to send out those directions. For them to post the information now would be a security faux pas. I know, boy, I'm behind. We need to get into it. Today will be just a touch short. I have to go pick up my sister from the airport. I get some time with my twin for the next 4 days. I'm super excited about it. All right, I did that part. Just wanted you folks to know that one. First thing I'm going to do in the links today, I am looking for if anybody out there has it. I don't have it saved on this computer. I thought I did. I don't. I have it saved on the computer in North Carolina. The link to the government documents saying that the foreign currency exchange with Iraqi dinar would not be a taxable event. I will work on getting to you. I don't have it right now. But I did have this link with Shabibi answering revaluation or domination questions back in 2011. This is the man that designed the system. So many of you folks are going, I can't find anything. Here it is. He's going to answer 90% of your questions about the feasibility of it, possible values, etc., in his own words. So I just want to include that link. It really, I mean, stunned that it only has 121,000 views over 13 years. I think a lot of people don't follow up and do their research. Iraq's Soudani secures a major victory in the general election. Sources close to the prime minister. They still have to balance all of those with the special vote that occurred the day before. So it's probably going to be late this evening before we have 100% results. but he is projected to have done this in a landslide, including the candidates he supports. This one is in my opinion, a very big heck yes for those of us watching an RV and watching, and for the folks that are worried about the Iraqi people and their prosperity. Sudani secure is a major victory, and it gets longer and longer with all the folks that are backing the incumbent and the other parties that are joining in that one. So really solid stuff. I think we can quit worrying about Maliki. I can take that one off. Bond side, still quiet. I've managed to track a couple with meetings Thursday and Friday. Don't have any response from my person that claimed they were getting paid on Tuesday yet, or the one that was still pending. They've been really weird quiet. Bernard, you're picking your sister up from the airport. No, I'm driving my Wawa in my truck. Sidecar would be fun, though. Why is a home the only appreciating asset? Biggest lie put in the world. That is, Jay and Amy, that is one of the biggest lies ever, 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 ever. And realtors repeat it repeatedly. It's like their sales pitch. Protect yourself. Your home's going to appreciate in value. Your home's not appreciating in value. Your dollar's losing value. You don't understand the mechanics of fiat currency, or you wouldn't spread that lie. At least get educated. The only way your home's going to appreciate in value is if something positive happens for the neighborhood, or you make an improvement to your home. Otherwise, it is maintaining value. And often it can lose value. Those that appreciate in value because a new business came can also lose value because a new business came. Great example would be a $100,000 home in 1990s, a $300,000 home now. Boom. Is the home worth more? Is it different? Did it suddenly sprout and triple in size for the exact same home? No. Your dollar, it takes 3 times more of them to buy it. No news on Pango. No, it's not a given. Homes are not a slam dunk like everybody out there is pitched. Frank, I'm kind of with you. I feel like Art Bell when this is done down in my bunker. We do, and this is something that I should mention more. There has been a war of resets. There has been the Great Reset and the reset we want. There's the Klaus Schwab one where you will own nothing and they will control everything, done through a very controlled central bank digital currency that is not backed by assets. This is important. Trump team, Colin White Hats, they've been pushing for an asset-backed reset that allows us to decentralize money so that we can so that they can't control us. Now, this is important because the same technologies that work for one work for the other. So many of those technologies are agnostic. They could be used for good to control you, or they could be used to keep the control to us, to we the people. This is very important. Now, if you pay attention to what is going on around the world, much of Europe, it does not appear like they want it to be decentralized and for the people to have power. Trump, on the other hand, here, they've been busy passing laws, anti-CBDC laws, laws that will allow us to use asset-backed, or what we're going to call them, stable coins. So we'd be able to step outside of the banking system, very decentralized. Trump has put in like dead man switches on Klaus Schwab and the Crew's Great Reset. And this is something that we have to watch because that same technology can be turned against us easily, in my opinion. Do I think everything's going to work great? Do I think everything's going to be positive and we're going to be kind of a mini golden age? Yes, I do. But I'm also not foolish enough to just trust them and not think they're trying to throw a Trojan horse in here. So I'm going to keep my eyes up. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to invest in assets and be prepared just in case. Because let's say it goes exactly the way we want it and things are great for 5 to 10 years. Then most people go right back to sleep once life's been good for a little while, go right back to sleep. Government does what it has always done throughout human history. Greedy men, evil men do the same thing they've done throughout human history, and they start controlling things again. Till the return of Christ, we are still going to have that. A lot of people are like, oh, you're just preparing people to for this new over controlling system. No, I'm telling you, keep your eyes open. It can be used both directions. What did Guru Mountain Goat have to say? Tier 4A has not been paid yet, Joe. That is a question you'll never have to ask us. You will know. Everything that I'm about to tell you today has been confirmed with my CBI contact last night in the call to Iraq. Factual information. For years, decades, we've been waiting for the revaluation of the Iraq dinar to see the IQD once again reinstate on Forex. Here today to tell you that this is about to happen and happen much sooner than you may comprehend. But we must still be patient and wait for it. It's kind of what we talked about last night. It does. The chatter in Iraq is through the roof. The articles that they are posting are swinging all over the place. No, it's going to devalue. Yes, it's going to increase value. No, they're going to do this. They're going to drop the zeros and then revalue. No, they're going to revalue, then drop the zeros. This is exactly what is to be expected. That's why when you hear news right now, sit on it. It'll become very clear 48, 72 hours whether that news was accurate or not accurate. Do not play this roller coaster this week. Just know that it definitely appears we're getting much closer quickly. I do think Soudani being elected or the elections being over and stable is going to help us push this to a close. Mary Joy's birthday. Ooh, guys, I am forgetting all kinds of stuff today. Dr. Rich is in the hospital in ICU, guys. He is on a vent right now. For those that have listened to him talk about his story in his health journey, a number of years ago, he had clots so bad he nearly died. They didn't think he was going to make it. The outlook was dim, to say the least. He embraced a couple products. Somebody shared it with him. Cardio for Life and LifeVantage NRF2. It was life-changing for him. He got, a decade more in good health that he was not expected to have ever. But right now he has clots in his legs and lungs. They did surgery to remove some. He has a bleed in his lungs. So they have him on a vent. So prayers for Tippy, his wife and family, that he bounces back from this one and gets to come home. I just wanted to share that one. So prayers for Dr. Rich. Texas, I love that one. I'm a real estate broker, and I will agree with Mark. Texas and Tacoma, I wish more real estate agents would understand that. I mean, homes can still be a great investment, but it kind of changes how you invest and where you put your money and what's important to you once you understand the actual mechanics. Polly Collie, who is Dr. Rich? If you joined us years ago, he used to join us probably twice a month, sometimes more often, and would talk about health. He's a naturopathic doctor from West Virginia. Stacy Z does it for him now. Yes, Walter passed the day before yesterday. Lord have mercy. Yeah, we announced that one yesterday. C. Goodwin, do you think the Iranian Real will be in the first basket? I think it's an absolute crapshoot, CD or CG, C. Goodwin. At this point, sometimes I believe it's going to be, sometimes I don't, based on the political environment and everything surrounding Iran right now. I don't think it's going to be in. If there is sudden peace tonight, Iran overthrows its whatever, there's been a plan all along, and it becomes stable, then I'd say the chances are good, but I don't see it happening. Do I think Iran's going to be in the first basket right now? No. Could something happen tomorrow that makes me think it could be? Yes. Yeah, it's just running. Let's see, Mark, dumb question. After RV, will homes appreciate in value? If yes, what would cause it? The only reason they would appreciate in value is if we massively devalued the dollar and did not go back to an asset-backed currency. then yes, you could see home prices go up instead of down. And if that happens, then we got a whole new conversation to have on how to protect our money and what to do with it. It's not a, oh crap, the whole world's going to end. It just means we have to change our approach. Yeah, for those that missed that one yesterday, Walter had a series a couple weeks ago of strokes. They put him in hospice. Cheryl, he had some good friends that were there. Family wasn't there for him, but had some, or at least that's my understanding. Walter and I had many conversations over the years. He had rededicated his life to Christ in that last couple of weeks. Kind of had a tough go of it, and it's gonna be missed. He was a character. Dr. Sarah, would future purchase of the next basket be considered double dipping? No. Double dipping would only be if you got paid early on one of the currencies in the first basket, or maybe you had some of these historic bonds, as we understand it, and they paid you, and then you took that and bought in the first basket. If it is not in the first basket, it is not double dipping. I've had that explained to me from many of the folks, paymasters, attorneys, folks that are considered white hats ish. The Michael Montclair, unlike others out making us pay for a plan on how to work exchange angle. I hope you. I can't. That to me is just unexcusable to try to charge somebody for that, and that's my opinion. I get it. People's time is worth this, worth that. I get it. But for me, no. If I know something, I am going to share it. I'm not going to charge you. And I would hope you would do the same for me as friends. Texas artist. I can't answer this one 100%. Texas artist said, if currency isn't in the first basket, do we take it in and get SKRs or hold on until it's announced? Texas artist, I was told that there will be many more options and multi-currency accounts than we presently have after the RV. I don't know if it'll be at the same time or over the next, may take months to establish that. But it is my understanding that MCAs will be offered. I just don't know if they'll be offered immediately or later. We should know before it's time to take anything. But if you have a question, take it. Worst thing they could do is exchange what they will and send you back with the rest. I'll let Jules Bells. I'll share my pink duct tape for NDAs. Ooh, 72Z to the rescue. Yes. I don't remember exactly where this one is, but you got to love it. It's the custom report excerpts specifically for Iraq and Vietnam. But in one section here, they talk about it, and they talk about the exchanging them being a non-taxable event. That is a big rescue from 72Z. I could find it in here. I don't know where it's at right now, but I'm dropping that link in chat. Mods, if you're up for it, please save that one because people ask for it often, and it would help to have it in 2 or 3 spots instead of just one person having it. Hello, Kevin and Miles Franklin. Kevin, if you didn't know, Andy's joining tomorrow, not today. Looking forward to having Andy tomorrow, which worked out great because I could not go as long today because I need to get to the airport. So it works out great that Andy wanted to switch to tomorrow. Worked out great. Grumpy's got it. Thank you, Grumpy. Thank you, mods, for saving that one. Ouch. Pammy, ouch. Hopefully they called Kevin over at Miles Franklin when they did. Stacy, I don't know if she'll be on with me tonight. It's going to depend. I hope she stops in. Zester is planning on doing his podcast after this one today. See, Trovo, I have been told no, the amount you get does not go higher if you have more. Of course, I was also told it doesn't go lower if you have more, which would make sense. Ask yourself right now if you had $100,000 worth of euro on you and you're here in the States and you had, would you make more than if you had 900,000 like per euro? And the answer is no, it would be the same. It's just changed by the amount you have. And that's what I'm told it will work like. Bejeweled. That's from the U.S. Department of State on the tax, no tax thing on it. I don't think you can get any better than that. Of course, we do have to find out, do we still have an IRS? Do we don't? That is one of the things we very much believe. If we're still going to have an IRS and that didn't change, then there's a lot that we will need to account for. Haven't heard anything fun on CMKX. All right, couple more. Let's hit them. The reopening of the government. Here's what to know about the impact. If you're a government contractor, they do not owe you back pay. If you work for the government and you were coming to work, then they owe you back pay. You will get paid for your work. If you worked for the government and you chose not to come to work, you don't get paid. So if you were still working, you will get all of that back pay and you will be current. EBT starts immediately. The restarting of the government will take a little time to spin up. The money will start flowing like within 2 to 3 days, but it will take a little time to spin up. It is expected for the House to pass it on and put it on the president's desk later today. Kara Welch, Zester has his own channel. It is called The Crazy Kryptonaut. I will share that very quickly. And he is way better at teaching than I am and explaining things. He has more patience than his dad, which is a good thing. He really should have been a college professor. Just so you know what it looks like, so you know it's him. Here is his page. I'm going to drop that link in chat. Ooh, my voice is already going. What in the heck did I do with my kick? I lost my kick. It just disappeared. Sorry, kick people. I can't see you for a second. It won't take long to spin back up. Hunter Guy, according to Nader, remember the 8th of November. Well, it's the 12th. There is so much going on right now in news. I'm just praying that they give us our new rate. He even mentioned that he heard it's going to be a year you have to exchange. Many saying 30. I'm being told 90 days to exchange so they can clean off the bigger denomination bills. Only Roy Hobbs. You can exchange anywhere you are legally at. That is how it has been explained to me. So if they're here legally, then they would be able to exchange here legally. Wait, slow it down. Optimistic. The air traffic controllers who came to work are getting back pay plus a bonus. Nice. I very much think that for TSA agents, air traffic, the ones that came, even though they weren't getting a paycheck and didn't know if they were going to get a paycheck or back pay, those I do. I think it'd be right to give them a bonus. Those that didn't come to work and thought they were going to get a paid vacation, screw them. Wow, a 10K bonus, Lily, that would be huge. But air traffic, I mean, when I tell you that is a tough job, that is a difficult job. There are not many that, it's a tough job. Okay, where was I at? We reopened. We talked about that. China's DeepSeek issues a rare warning of an incoming AI-fueled job apocalypse. I used to talk about this a lot more in the earlier days of the podcast. And we would talk about government. We talked about some different things then. Think about it with AI. The first stage of AI has been making existing people more efficient in their existing jobs. As you merge AI with robotics, Skynet stuff becomes scary. But let's just go back to like manufacturing work and physically laborious jobs. If you had a robot that can work all day long, very rarely ever needs maintenance. And yes, it costs you as much as a person as yearly salary to buy one. But this robot's going to keep working for 10 years. What's going to happen? There's going to be a job apocalypse over time. Many of the jobs that are done now, especially factory work, warehousing, etc., you are not going to need people for. This is going to be a huge transition for mankind. So what happens? I've said before, everybody was like, "Oh, this capitalism is best." Like, at some point, we'll become a social democracy because we won't need labor. And I know that's a scary thought, and it is to me too, because I don't know what that's going to look like. Makes me want to run off and be Amish. But just think about the logic, where we're headed, what's happened. So they're talking about it openly here. We talked about it then. When I say democratic socialist, or social democrat, anyways, what I'm referring to is a government similar to what you would see on like Star Trek. Because if we have all that technology, if we had food replicators, if we have all those, think about it. What job do we need people to do? And I just thought this one was a deeper thinking one, so folks can start thinking about what will the future look like. I mean, we're totally guessing right now what it's going to look like, but what makes sense? Jim, thoughts on a 2-week notice? I would not give one until it's gone. Jim, but I am so gun shy because I made some horrendous financial decisions run around the 2010, early 2010s, because I knew that was when that even Oki had posted it. My contacts in Iraq, I mean, they were moving forward with approvals and it got stuck at the very last moment. And I made some bad ones. So for me, do not bail on the job until you have gone to the bank. I would not even when you get announcements. I wouldn't do that until you leave the bank and it's in your account. Barbie, do you have an opinion about the hemp regulations in the get out of jail bill? Sounds like a lot of potential damage to the hemp industry. Barbie, it would devastate it. I was trying to figure out what Rand Paul was referencing when he decided to come back on the spending bill and he tried to attach the hemp bill. The hemp bill would for the well, okay, 99% or more of the CBD industry in the United States would end day one. Pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies have banded together to help sponsor legislation that would basically gut and trash the farm bill from the first Trump administration. This is one as we get more details. I hope people that use CBD products, things from like Matt, Mr. Heels, things like that. I hope you guys will take to calling your congressmen, your senators, your legislators, and posting all over social media. One of the biggest, absolute biggest segments of that industry is retired folks or older folks. Aches, pains, they know how it works. That's the hippie generation. They know what the health benefits are. Most of them have read the science. And that's become the biggest supporter of that industry now. I know it surprises a lot of people, but they get tired of hurting and they don't want, gabapentin, all these like serious side effect drugs to deal with it when they can take something far more natural. And they're coming after you because it is cutting into their pocketbooks. Allie, in this one, Rand Paul's trying to save us from that one and not make it worse. This is one of those where 1 minute I want to toss him out of DC, and the next minute I'm like, oh, now that makes sense. No word on any word on Oki, the oil man. My last update from Oki, and I am certain Salty will give me an update now that you guys are talking about it. Somebody will put it in front of her and we get an update. He was still hanging in there, still plodding along, not feeling great, but still hanging in there for the finish. I will get you an update from Salty. I'd reach out to him directly, but I feel really bad. I've got all of his numbers and everything, and I do on occasion just to let him know we're thinking about him. But if she already knows, I like to give him his break. No news on Zim, Lisa. All right, where are we on that one? Very interesting if you guys are up for that. And I know it's a deeper thinking kind of thing, but I highly suggest it. Trump administration expands oil and gas drilling in Gulf America, eyes Alaska next. Department of Interior announced on November 7th 2 major steps to expand offshore oil and gas leasing under President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act, unveiling plans for the first lease sale on the Gulf of America and another proposed auction in Alaska's Cook Inlet. Drill, baby, drill. He told us he was going to do this. He was going to open up more. What does this do? It secures our energy independence from the world, our potential to be absolutely dominant in energy, and lowers the cost of all goods in the U.S. If you do the math, roughly 90% of cost of food at the grocery store is energy related. The energy to plow the field, the energy to make the fertilizer, the energy to harvest, the energy to get it to the grocery store, the energy to make the container that it goes in, the energy to keep the lights on at the grocery store. This is huge in the attempt to lower the cost of living for Americans and people around the world. Side effect is it helps people around the world. His goal is to lower the cost for Americans, and this is promises made, promises are being kept. Trump pardons trail runner. Oh, I like this one. I know it's the last one for this morning. Trump pardons a trail runner in a push to curb regulatory overreach. Have any of you guys kept up with this story at all? President Donald Trump has pardoned Michelino Sanseri, a record-setting mountain runner prosecuted for briefly stepping off a designated trail while setting a speed record on Wyoming's Grand Teton. The case drew national attention to what legal experts described as an overcriminalization of a minor regulatory offense. Where do I start in this one? Sanseri was convicted in September 2024 of a petty regulatory offense after taking a brief detour off an official trail while setting a new fastest known time up and down the Grand Teton summit, an iconic 13-mile route in Grand Teton National Park. Days after his record-setting run, Wyoming-based federal prosecutors charged him with violating a rule that forbids leaving a designated trail or walkway. According to PLF, the route known locally as the Old Climbers Trail was a long-used social trail rather than a restricted area and had been used by previous record holders without an incident. Not a single non-National Park Service witness thought the use of the Old Climbers Trail was legally prohibited. In other words, people have been doing it for years. They didn't know. Confusing signs, if signs. They didn't prosecute anybody else, but they did him. They came, guys, they were looking, what they were trying to do to him legally was horrible. They were willing to settle. They sought a plea deal with him to him to pay $5,000 and accept a 5-year ban from the national park. They wanted to jail him for like 6 months because he stepped off the don't walk on my grass. And Trump has said that one of our problems is over prosecution in this country. Under prosecution of violent things, violence, those offenses. It would have been easier for him to be an Antifa person throwing Molotov cocktails at police. He would have spent less time and been out quicker than for stepping off a trail. So Trump gave him a pardon, and he is using it to highlight how insane our legal system has gotten. I love this one. I have been following it because it just screams of needing to get government a common sense pill. Yeah, flying squirrel flabbergasted. Just absolutely crazy. I mean, it was stupid what they've been trying to do to this man. Ooh, I've not seen this one. Chad said they're also talking about having Elon Musk's boring company install a tunnel from Alaska to Russia. All right, let's go down. Let's grab the tinfoil hat, Chad. Elon Musk has had a lot of pushback. And he's had a lot of pushback, mostly from his tech companies. Like, oh, we don't need to do this. We don't need to go that. I can't believe somebody wants to go to the moon or go to Mars. Oh, he doesn't need to do the boring company. Why does he need to do this? Why? We already have this. It makes me kind of wonder if what scares him about Elon Musk, and this is total cuckoo, grab your tinfoil hat. It's because they're afraid he will go find out. Maybe it's flat. I think it's round-ish. But many of you folks think it's flat. Are they worried that he's going to go find out? Are you worried that he's going to go find out there are already bases on the moon, bases on Mars, something going on there? Is that what they're worried about? Is that why they're fighting him so hard and regulating him and trying to shut him down and making his life a living hell? Is it because he can go find out that there are dumbs all over the place when he starts digging these tunnels with his boring machine? Is that perhaps why government, and when I say government, I'm referring to agencies outside of this administration that have done their absolute best to hinder his ability to go find those things out. Even NASA wanted very much to control anything he couldn't do. What do you guys think? I do. It would be fun to have a 10 surfer. It would be fun to have a 10 foil segment. 72Z, all the above. Crazy Nana, the truth is coming. Sounds about right. I mean, it's definitely interesting. Let's see. Secret identity. Not sure if you mentioned this. I had to hop on a call. Secretary Bessent just teased substantial economic announcement in the coming days. Be interesting to see what he posts. I still don't trust Bessent because he used to work for a Soros affiliated company. At the same time, he has made comments before about seeing how dirty things are because of that experience. So I'm not going to rule out that he's a better man for it. He's seen and he knows what we have to fight, but it still makes me a little worried when I see his background. Melifest, think you're on it, Mark, but I think Elon already knows. I absolutely Melifest. And part of me is wondering if Elon says what he does and pushes like he does because he knows what he is doing is calling their bluff. In other words, he already knows the answer. And he's going to keep pushing because he knows at some point they have to jump or admit it. Which CFAs do I like? I like both. For those that are curious, what I'm referring to is what some of my favorites in what I think will be the next basket to go, or maybe basket may be the wrong word. Some of the next currencies I think will change value. I'm looking this one up real quickly. African CFA currencies. Here we go. CFA franc, Wikipedia. It's the name of two currencies used by 210 million people as of 2023 in 14 African countries. Western or West African franc, CFA stands for, well, I'm not even going to try that one. African Financial Community. It's used in 8 West African countries, and the Central African CFA franc is used by 6 Central African countries. So you can look here, the West here in green, the Central in this red. These are we're talking like Congo, some of these areas that are extremely wealthy in natural resources, Mali, just to give a couple of them. Guinea, they sit on a fortune in gold reserves, cobalt, rare earth minerals. They are way undervalued and taken advantage of. This is where colonialism is still raping the African continent and people. And I am very much eyeing though, because if we're going to be basing the value of a country's wealth or currency based on their natural resources and etc., then doesn't it make sense when you look at per capita, what those resources are opposed to the people? I like Mongolia as well, but that's what we're referring to with CFAs. I'm going to drop that Wikipedia link in case anybody's curious. I need to sing. My voice is going before I get out the door. Okay, it's over at Kick as well. For anybody who wants to research these. All right, we got Mary Joy. Who else doing the birthday thing? Mongolia is another one that I think is going to have huge potential when you look at its natural resources. Mr. E.P. Fournier, I've never really noticed that, but any Bible scholars in here to sound off on this one? Anybody ever notice that in the Bible, silver is often placed before gold? Johansson, it depends on where you're at on skies regulated, oceans regulated. Why regulate underground? No one would know. Fee Simple would say that pretty much underneath your property and above your property is yours, but I definitely see your argument. Rain Man, let's do this before that 64th birthday. All right, looking for any other birthdays? My thoughts on the Real J Bar Delta. I very much like it. You look at the per capita. The question is when. Would I will I most likely, if it is not in the first basket, which I don't think it is, will I most likely buy some and sit on it? Yes. I'm trying to keep up with you. Ellen, I do not believe Mongolia is going in the first one. All right, I got a couple of things I need to wrap up before I pick up the sister at the airport and get to the airport. Let's see. The movement guy, silver and gold, I have not, but such as I have, I give unto thee. So, yes, silver is often proceeds. So, okay, I see what you're saying in order. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. To all those celebrating. Zester, as of this morning, was planning on a podcast. In 38 minutes, he should be live. No whiskey and wisdom tonight. I am still planning on a very brief news update so I can spend time with the family. What did White Wolf have to say? With all the research I've done regarding corruption of the government, I have chosen not to disclose as to the extent of problems that I've received, such as the 9/11 attack, where I received anthrax for the reports that I made regarding it yet. White Wolf, can we say cover up? I think cover up's the word. All right. Happy birthday to all those celebrating. Look forward to seeing you guys tonight. Have a great day, mods. Thank you.